Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Chase. Today is a very exciting episode and a very unexpected episode. Jeff and Linda Northgrave did some fishing. They're some viewers of ours. And they caught some beautiful rainbow trout and were gracious enough to drop it off at their door. That was earlier today, so it is now like almost 10 o'clock at night. And I just worked a little shift at the restaurant. And we're going to try to come up with a quick little recipe here while this fish is still super fresh. And try to treat it beautifully and honor it and do all those wonderful things. So thank you guys so much for bringing us this fish. And this is probably going to become maybe 2, maybe 3 episodes involving this because they brought us 2 enormous rainbow trouts. Look at the size of that. I think this was Linda's. Linda caught the big girl. I don't know how to tell the gender of fish. I thought I might be able to figure it out by looking. Don't know how to do that. Okay. Boy or girl fish? You will see. So we're going to fillet this up and I'm going to cure it, do a really quick, really light cure. This is a freshwater fish. With freshwater fish, you really don't want to be eating it raw. So the cure will kind of help mitigate any dangers of anything going on. It'll also help with the texture. So we're going to do a very, very quick cure, almost sashimi style. And then we're going to make a charred scallion and apricot vinaigrette. Kind of Spanish, Argentinian, Portuguese influence kind of thing going on. But this is some real off-the-cuff, real riff cooking because we had a whole different plan for an episode for this week. But when somebody drops this off at your door, you make it work. So we're going to jump into it. And I will qualify, I'm just going to handle a rinse here, that I am not an expert on filleting fish. We did it when I was at Biff's with trout, but that was 3 years ago now. And I have not done one since, so bear with me. But the nice thing is we're not doing it on Instagram Live anymore, so if it's not good, you will then cut to me butchering a much smaller trout. Not a much smaller trout, because I screwed this one up. So, sorry, Tyler has all these new motions for me that I have not quite mastered yet. So for today, you will need some trout. This doesn't have to be freshly caught. You can get it from the store, but get a whole trout if you want to butcher it. If you're not comfortable filleting it, you could get a fillet of trout or salmon and use that as well. The vinaigrette's going to be olive oil, white wine vinegar, some apricots, lemon, spraying onions, some garlic, and a shallot. And some salt and pepper and seasonings and stuff. So let's jump into it. Right now I'm just going to move the stuff off to the side and give myself some nice working room with this fish, which I am quite intimidated about because I want to do a good job. I don't really want to screw this up. So the other thing too is they make fish tweezers for getting rid of bones, but you can do it with just a good pair of household tweezers. Obviously make sure you wash them if you've been using them for stuff. But that's what we're using, and that's okay. So, I'm going to sip a beer. Cheers, guys. Okay, so the other thing too is you can see this fish, see that curve there, is still really in rigor mortis. So when a fish dies, everything seizes up, gets super tight, and it's almost better to wait a day, really. You either want to eat it super fresh, like right then before the rigor mortis sets in, or the next day, but we're this was caught earlier today and we're going to go with that. So there's a lot of ways to go about filleting a fish, and I'm not saying my way is the best, but it's the way we're going to go with tonight. So we'll come in here. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Yeah, so you want to make an incision kind of following along the neck, down there to the spine. You're going to feel the knife hit the spine. Right? And then you're going to take your knife, and what I do, you're just kind of feeling for the spine. You're just kind of coming in. Oh wow. See, this isn't descaled either, so we're going to if you were going to eat the skin, at this point you'd be descaling it. Okay. Oh gosh. He's through there. Come in there. We're going to make a incision kind of following along the spine there. kind of to the end of the tail. And then what we're doing here is we're just following those bones. So you're letting your knife, what you're feeling for here is you want feedback through your knife. So as you're following it, you're kind of tilting like this. You're only using the tip, but you're kind of following the bones, and the bones are making this little chatter, and that's what I'm feeling. That's letting me know that I'm following the bones. And I'm cutting through the bones. You can hear that, right? Can you hear that? There's one fillet. Ooh, I don't know if that would pass. And you can see, right, I'm not, and I've just got a parchment lined sheet over here that I'm just using to kind of deal with scraps and stuff. And we'll trim off the belly, we'll do all that. So at this point you have a couple options. You can see, I was really nervous for that, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I scuppered it a little bit. So you can see I went too deep here, and I kind of didn't take quite enough off the tail there, but you can see I did a good job along here, right, and right in there. So it's been a couple years. I'm pleased that it went that well, that I didn't cut myself. And my old chef told me that fish, it's almost like bread, senses fear. You just have to move with confidence and make your cuts. If you're going in a million times, I did way more cuts than I used to. I used to be able to do this in 2 or 3 cuts. You know, really, really quick, and that's how you get those beautiful, clean fillets. So we got 2 fillets. We're just going to do one for the recipe tonight. So the next step is going to be deboning it. So tweezers are okay, pliers are better. Just give them a wash. And then what you're going to do is, if you come in close to it, you'll see, kind of see the bones, right? You can see them, those little white dots there. Just show up. The best way to do it though is feel it. So you run it, your finger against the fish, or with the fish, I guess. Anyway, you run this direction, and you can feel it, and then you're just gonna go in, grab them, and take them out. Get a firm grip on them, and again, really good. If you have fish tweezers, we'll do a little less damage there, but it's okay. Right, they're pretty close to the surface, and then really good fish people know how many bones are in every type of fish, so they count them as they take them out. I had an old chef who did that. He didn't really need to feel. He knew that there'd be whatever number of bones in that particular fish. You know, it's quite impressive. And it's, I don't know, we're debating if we're gonna show the second half of that fish where I just butchered this fillet. We probably will, because the reality is like everyone starts somewhere, and it's been a long time since I dealt with a fish, and you know, my little ego, chef ego, saying like, oh, I'll show the one where you did better, but like, everyone starts somewhere, right? And you're never gonna get good at this unless you practice. And that's the whole point of this, right? It's not in a restaurant, you don't have a chef screaming over your shoulder, right? Especially if you caught it, you kind of got it free anyway, so there you go. Okay, so you got your bones, those are all of them, right? Just you run your hands and feel smooth. Now we're just gonna trim all the rest of this up. So, get these guys, everything's really sticky with fish, right? So you just wanna be clean. Keep wiping your board down. Have a towel that you kind of just sacrifice for the fish. If I was smart, I would put those on paper towels so they came out there. Again, those go into the discard bowl there. Okay, get rid of these. Grab our knife again. Using the same slicer that I had before. This is a knife I'm comfortable with. Use whatever knife you do. I do recommend a long blade, right? The fewer slicing motions in a fish, the better. And we're gonna trim this up. Okay, so this is the belly, what they call the belly, right? And when you're roasting it, you keep it on, but when you're kind of curing it the way we are, we're gonna get rid of it. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of like trimming off that belly, right? Till I kind of get a nice piece. Then again, watch the motion. It's not where I'm cutting it, just watch where the knife, right? It's one fluid cut. So you end up with a nice organic shape, right? discard bowl there. And then from here, you could portion this the way we did for our trout video, right? To make nice portions. And this you'd get realistically kind of two and a tail per person. So this fish would feed 4 people, 4 adults. We're gonna do this slightly differently. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna trim this right here. Right? I'm not throwing this stuff out, it's just going off to the side for now. And we're back! Okay, we're gonna continue filleting this fish and getting it all sliced up and get some cure on it. Alright, so let's do this. So again, a lot of ways to like skin a fish. Try to say fillet a fish. Skin the fish, get some cure on it. This is the way I do like to do it. So some people try to come in here and make that cut and take the skin off. The way I like to do it is kind of come into here. And this gives you a nice little piece that you wouldn't be able to use anyway. Like you can use it for stir fry or soup or whatever. I'm just gonna throw it in there, scrap bowl. But you wouldn't be able to use it for the cure. And then you want to make sure you have a good handle on the skin. So some paper towel or your butcher's rag right here. Get a little fold on this guy. So I'm just getting a nice hold so the skin doesn't slip. Right, and then I'm starting at the heel of the knife and getting down. And this is really where I'm more pulling the fish, the skin to me. Am I describing that right? I'm pulling the skin, but my knife isn't really moving very much. You can see that ended up, it's a perfect skin. You can see how little meat's left on the skin there. I'm much better at skinning fish than at filleting them. So you can see that there's very little waste off that, and that's good. And then this goes in there. Again, I think I'm going to give it to the dog. I think fish looks great for them. So you're at this point here, which is looking really nice. A little bit left to go, and we're ready to get it cured. So I'm just going to take and trim some of this up here. This is mostly just for aesthetics at this point. Come in here, come in there. This is all going to get used for stir fries or something like that. And we're going to start slicing it here. So you can see there's kind of, this is where I'm really a little bit out of my element, I'll be honest, and I'm kind of wheeling it a little bit, but just trying to think which way I want to cut this. I think I'm going to go here. Yeah, that's the way I want to do it. Okay, so I'm just going to use that. So I'm kind of making that 2 portions of this. Then we're going to slice this, kind of nice pieces like this. Again, it's you did a good job there. Okay, so you want to keep as much intact as possible, and the way you want to do that is you're making one motion, right? Thinking about you're kind of cutting this like sashimi. Nice sharp knife. Nice long knife. You're starting at the heel. Making one smooth, so this is just beautiful and shiny. Gonna make one of these nice pieces here. Just felt the bone. Yeah, and we're just going to cut till you kind of get the amount that you want for your dish, right? And the rest you can just cook up. I feel good about this. Okay. Good. Just going to throw that there for now. Obviously, I'm throwing that out. Beautiful. Oh, a couple bones in this last couple guys, so I'm just not going to use that piece for stir fry. And then we're going to get a cure on this. There's a bone. There's a bone somewhere. Okay, perfect. So, you can do a lot of seasoned cures and stuff like that. What I'm going to do is just get it on a plate. These pieces on here. And the places we'll talk, so when you're curing, you have to think about salt content and time. What I mean by that is you can do a low salt content brine for a very long time to cure something, or you can do a lot of salt for a short period of time, which is what we're doing today. So I'm just going to do this over the sink, and I'm doing a fairly heavy coating of salt. We're going to rinse this off. It's nice kosher salt here. and somewhere about there. So you can see it's well coated in salt, right? We're really going to leave this for 10 or 15 minutes. So that's why I went so heavy with the salt. So you can see we went shopping today, not for fish. The fridge is just mangled full of food. So where I'm going to put this? Right there. That's just how it's going to live. Okay. I'm going to wash my board up here, then we're going to make a little vinaigrette. Perfect. And we're back. Okay, so we've done a lot. This video might end up being quite long. Hopefully not. We're going to try some different edits, and Ty's going to just get so good at the computer stuff, so hopefully we'll be quick there. So now we're going to make this dressing. And I've made stuff similar to this before, but this is not the exact way I would have done it back then. But it's got a couple cool tricks and tips, and it's one of those things where it's simple, but it feels very chefy. So if you want to impress, it's a good one for that. I'm just trimming some scallions here, and I'm just going to drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. Yeah, and I'm just going to kind of coat them lightly with my hands. Then I'm going to come over, do it over the sink, and season them with a little bit of salt. Right, I'm just doing it over the sink so the salt's not on my floor. Unlike a kitchen, we don't like to sweep this every day, even though we end up having to. Not quite hot enough. Then we're going to sear these when they get a little, the pan heats up, in a cast iron skillet. Get a really nice char on them. So we want to rip it hot. And it mellows the onion flavors, right, of spring onions. Think about raw onion versus cooked onion, caramelized onion, right, it's sweeter. And adds a nice kind of smoky element. Usually I'd like to grill these, but I'm not going to fire up the grill just to do a couple spring onions. But ideally, grill them would be the preferred method here. Let's get rid of those. And then the rest of the dressing is pretty straightforward. So we got a shallot. If you don't have shallot, not a big deal. Just use the inner part of your onion. So the closer to the center of your onion you get, the sweeter it becomes. So just use the outer layers for whatever, stir fry, something like that. And then use that inner one for this dressing. That applies to most vinaigrettes, right? Or anything where you're using raw onions. So I'm just going to get rid of this one outer layer. Again, use the longest knife in your drawer for all of this delicate work. But this is what I'm using. And then I'm going to kind of just let things be a little bit here. What I mean by that is I'm going to slice this super thin. But just leave the shallot rounds. I'll do this on the mandolin. You can do this on the mandolin. Like that. So it's nice and consistent. Yeah, a little bit bigger. Yeah. Yeah, I just want just gonna leave the shallots whole, right? They're really delicate in flavor. I'm not too worried about it. So I'm just gonna kind of handle in that amount. I feel good about that. I'll do both. Yeah, and I'm a fan of just kind of letting the ingredient be the ingredient. You know, you don't have to manipulate things as much as a lot of people think. Just kind of like let the food be the food. If you have good stuff like this fish, you know, you don't have to do much. So I just got some shallot here. I'm gonna leave that whole. Then you end up with these nice shapes, right? Like, I could never cut a shallot to me that is as pretty as that. Just let that be a thing. Do I want a zest? I love it. You want a little zest, not the whole bit, but just a little bit of zest. All right. Cover zester here. For a bowl. I'm gonna do maybe half a lemon. Yeah. Zest can just get too perfumey, I find, if you go too heavy on it. So I'm just gonna do a little bit, but the floral notes are nice. You know, cut this in half. I'm gonna start with just half of a lemon, because we're also doing white wine vinegar. So let's see where we're at for acidity afterwards. Just gonna do some white wine vinegar into this. Starting off with like a teaspoon-ish. You know, and I know these are rough recipes, but what I will say is the best thing to really start to get a feel for things, just like seasoning with your hands, just have a spoon. Okay, one of your kitchen spoons on hand, and start pouring into that, right? So you're not freeform, but you're starting to develop a sense of volume with it. I should just do it another dash more. It's easier to recreate things down the road. easier to understand what's going on. I'm just going to check the temperature of our pan here. I'm doing 2 scallions, 2 green onions. And that's okay. There. And what I'm going to do. Alright. I'm going to let this char up for a minute. We'll be right back. Our scallions are charred, and if you want to come in here, Ty. So, you can see I went really nice and heavy with the color on there, right? I only did one side. So you'll get this nice char on one half, which will kind of mix into the vinaigrette, but won't taste burnt. And what I did is I just finished the char. I put them in a Tupperware so they would steam to finish cooking, so they're fully cooked at this point. And then I just dressed them with kind of this vinaigrette that I quite like, which is I've talked about it in earlier videos, but it's just a very simple olive oil, black pepper, fish sauce, and lemon juice. And we just kind of keep this on hand. I use it with veg a lot. This could be a balsamic vinegar or something like that. Just something to kind of season the spring onions. So I'm just going to take these out using tweezers so I look very chef's table. And then there's this nice liquid at the bottom. I'm not going to discard that. So that's the remaining vinaigrette, but also juice from the spring onion. So I'm just going to add that into there. Waste not, want not, somebody said. Get rid of that. Then I'm just going to slice these. You need a nice sharp knife for this, and I'm not going super small. I'm trying to mince them. Kind of doing nice pieces. Okay, really happy with that. I'm just gonna give this a little taste. So good. You can put that on a shoe. It'd be good. Well, it'd be a really nice dressing on a shoe, but the shoe would taste good. Okay, so that's in there. Fish really nice. It's really bitter. It's gonna help cut through the richness of the fish and stuff like that. So, going olive oil, 3 or 4 tablespoons to kind of start. And we'll see what we'll add. There's no emulsifier in this. It's gonna be what they call a broken vinaigrette or loose vinaigrette. Over there for salt. Okay, so obviously you need to get this taste for seasoning and correction, do all that. Back in the fridge here. I'm gonna pull out my fish. Oh my god. Here. On there. Good seasoning. More salt. More pepper. Chili flake would be nice in this. I think I'm going to leave it out though. Let's take the cleanness of the fish. It's in there. So I'm just trying to get a little. Hold that. So nice. Okay. Really, really happy with that. You can see, what kind of does happen though, you see the olive oil is kind of thickened. It's from the juice from like the scallions and the onions and stuff. So I also used to make a lot because you don't have a ton of fish. But it's all just, what I like about this is everything's just like, you can tell what it is. Still like a scallion, still a chunk of spring onion. You're gonna get these bites, you're gonna hit the fish, you're gonna know what you're eating. You're gonna go trout, scallion, shallot, which I think is nice. I like dishes like that. But anyway, that's just the food I like. So, I think our trout is good. So what we got here, you can see the kind of color, it's firmed up a little bit, right? It's gonna be super well seasoned. We won't need to add any salt to this. So I'm just gonna rinse off the cure and get on some paper towel to dry off, but it's firmed up quite a bit. The texture has changed. Can't, excuse me, show that on camera, but it has. So just getting some cold water. Not working it, I don't want to keep the fish intact. I'm kind of holding it. You can do this in a colander on a plate, but this is kind of how I'm doing it. Then we're going to grab some paper towel to dry it off. And this would be great in the fridge. You could put this in the fridge to dry off, but we're going to be plating this up right now. You can really feel once you rinse it off that the texture of the fish has changed. Make sure you have tweezers again for this point. There. Get rid of this plate, grab a fresh one. One more piece of paper towel down there because there's a lot of liquid on that fish from getting rinsed off. Nice and pat. Perfect. Okay. I'm just going to stick this in the fridge. Well, I'm actually just going to try little pieces to see what our seasoning's like. Super nice. It could have gone a little long on the. I could have gone a bit longer on the seasoning. Still really nice and salty. Fish tastes amazing. Super fresh. The texture of it's really nice and firm because it's pulled out some of the liquid from the fish. So I'm quite pleased. So nice. Just gonna keep it in the fridge, and we're gonna kind of prepare our little apricot component to this. So I've got some nice apricots here, and we're going to slice them up for the dish. So what I do with this is just stone fruit usually has a seam. Kind of follow along the seam there. Roll it down the knife with the blade. Give it a little twist. Should come in half. On this guy into the middle, and as thin as you can slice it. Okay. Now we're going to assemble. Apricots. Okay. We're going to go to plate here. Grab. Gotta go with this one. I love this plate. Found in Valley Village. Tyler, not as big a fan. But you know, it's important for these couples to have these fights, right? About what plates you like. Important stuff. So again, I've never played this before. So free will in here. I think what I want to do, actually, I'm going to start off with just a bit of olive oil on the bottom of the plate, just a touch. This is just mostly to help prevent the fish from sticking when you eat it. It just makes it eat a little easier. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to kind of try not to make this. I'm just trying to do kind of random pieces, right? So it doesn't look like you went with, you know, a grid pattern or something, right? Just kind of looking like trying to let the fish be the fish a little bit. No, it sounds like you need some new age hippie stuff, but you know. I'm happy with that. Then I'm going to get the vinaigrette here. Again, just trying to kind of like create, it sounds so hip, whatever, I'll just be what I'm going to be. Create little moments on the plate, right? So get some dressing on the fish, some charred scallions on there. Go into your tweezers and readjust some stuff, right? Because that scallion complements everything really well. And I'm trying to kind of pull stuff out of the bowl so I can place the scallion and these shallot, and then I'm gonna like finish with the dressing a little bit. I think that's good. I'm pleased with that. A couple more pieces here. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with that kind of. And we're gonna go in with the apricot. And the nice thing when you slice it this thin. A very tweezer heavy episode, just so you can see the membrane through it. Is that showing up, buddy? Okay, which is just beautiful, right? You're just going to kind of drape these into little spots here. The fold's nice, creates a little bit of height. The orange is absolutely gorgeous and kind of mimics the salmon a little bit. There. And we're just going to go on with this again, because there's quite a bit of dressing on there, but there's not a lot going on this plate. I'm going to kind of hit that again, a little bit onto there. Oh, shoot. I forgot. I want to get some parsley on here. I know I use parsley and everything, but it's because I like it. Parsley leaves here. Yeah. Just gonna kind of trim these up. Should have done this off camera, had all my mise en place ready, but that's what happens when you're like free-forming a dish, you know? Yeah, I think that should be enough there. Okay. Just gonna take this up nice. Okay, not trying to do too much. Just say as I've been using tweezers the entire time. Just let it do its thing. Okay. Some things I would change for next time for sure, you know, not fully pleased with it, but I am pleased with this, and again, thank you guys. Okay, so this is the dish, charred scallion vinaigrette with some apricots and some cured trout provided by Jeff and Linda. Thank you so much again, guys. We're going to do a couple more episodes with the fish. But this was something I really wanted to get done today when it was so fresh. So this was in the morning, starting in the water 8 hours ago. Now you got something like this with 6 or 7 ingredients, a little bit of technique, a little bit of experimentation. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you on Friday. See you on Friday, guys. Thanks for watching. Why don't you watch another video? Like this one right here. Or subscribe. Right here. I do videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 Eastern. Stay home, stay safe, eat well. Thanks.